Hello, everybody. I want to share with you a quick story out of the book of John, chapter 4. In this chapter, Jesus is traveling and he goes through the town of Samaria and he comes to Jacob's well and he meets a Samaritan woman at the well. And Jesus says, "Give me some water to drink." And she says to Jesus, "How is it that you, being a Jew, would ask me to give you water when the Jews and the Samaritans have nothing to do with each other?" And Jesus says this to her: "If you knew the gift of God and who it was that was asking you for this water, you would have asked me and I would have given you the living water." And then Jesus says this: "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water that I will give them will never thirst and will have eternal life." And she says, "Give me some of this water to drink." And then Jesus says this. He said, "Woman, believe me, a time is coming when you will worship the Father neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem." You see, Jerusalem is no longer a physical place. Neither is Mount Zion, but it's a spiritual habitation for the presence of God. So Jesus said, you won't have to come to Jerusalem to worship God. And then he says this: "Yet a time is coming and has now come when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks." The Old Testament was a representation of physical things with a physical people. The New Testament is a representation of spiritual things with a spiritual people. And spiritual things are higher than physical things. And so Jesus represented that principle with this Samaritan woman. For God had a plan to bring in all people from every race, from every nation, to be one spiritual people under Jesus Christ. And Jesus represents this with his encounter with the woman at the well. And then Jesus says this: "God is a spirit, and his worshipers, or his chosen people, must worship him in spirit and in truth." So tell me, what do you think about this? Have you received the living water? And are you one of God's spiritual chosen people? Tell me what you think down in the comments.